We're ready for this. Mobility number 32, I'm pretty sure. Right, okay, this is the first session. We're going to see the introduction of the foam roller. We're just going to call it a lacrosse ball, okay? I'm not going to keep, or the ball. I'm not going to keep calling it your myofascial release ball all the way through this, okay? Otherwise the session will be double the length. So, okay, these are tools that you're going to learn how to use. Again, the introduction of these two things is going to make these mobility classes go from here to way up here, higher than I can even reach. Okay, it's going to really get stuck into different areas a bit more rather than just do lower body and upper body. Look at the foam roller as it's good for doing your big muscle groups, the easy to access ones. And look at this as the wee tool for just getting in there. It's like somebody's elbow when you're going for a massage, you're getting right stuck in at the nooks and crannies. You're going to be using this more. Now, one thing I'm always telling you is pain and discomfort. That's about to go to a whole new level, okay? I'm not going to lie. But what you need to realise is the more discomfort you can tolerate, the higher your pain threshold, especially with the sort of myofascial release work, the more you're going to get out of it, okay? Now, for some people, we could be doing something that feels all right, and I could be on the floor and there's tears and sweat running down my face because I'm finding it awful. Everybody's different, okay? We're all going to have our own little knotted up tight areas, our own little problem areas, etc., okay? So what might not work for one person might be working a hell of a lot for the other. But all I would say is the person who might not feel like they're getting a lot from it, still do it, still put the effort in, because chances are you're just maintaining and getting the best out of it anyway. Okay, so without further ado, tonight is a new one, and we're going for shins, calves, ankles, and feet. Okay, and that's going to help. Again, I'm not a miracle worker. It may help cure things like shin splints. Okay, we get a lot of horrible pain in my shins, shin splint. Is that Margaret coming on? Time do you call this, Margaret? What time do you call this? Anyway, forget that. Latecomers, how dare you? I was on a roll there and everything. It was great. Anyway, we're going to be working on shins, calves, ankles, and feet, okay? So things like knee pain, ankle pain, shin splints, plantar fasciitis, which is a very loose term for basically anything that's painful underneath the bottom of your foot. That's what we kind of refer to as plantar fasciitis. It covers a very broad spectrum of things. I'm not here to cure you. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not a physiotherapist, but I do know a thing or two about looking after myself. I just don't do it very often, okay? But now we're all doing it together. So without further ado, we're going to build you into these gradually, okay? So we're going to be doing beginner stuff that might not be quite as painful, but also putting you in positions that might be achievable for more people. So I would like you to grab a seat, which you should have, because on the kit list for tonight, it did say a chair, okay? And I've seen some people thinking, Now, you can do this. You can do this on the ground. You can do it, but it's probably not going to be the easiest way to do it, if that makes sense. So if you cannot get a chair, I want you to get into this position. But you need to position your foot on something that you can move. See how I'm moving my foot? I'm going to be pushing down on this leg. Okay, so if you are in this position, if you absolutely have to be, fine, okay? But just as I say that, everybody pulls a chair up. So get a chair, just do what you're told the first time. Right, okay, what am I doing? So all I'm going to do is get the leg across, yep. Remember I taught you that glute bridge kind of one that you can do sat on your sofa? That's what I'm doing. So I've not got the ankle bone on the leg because that would be uncomfortable. Now I want you to try and relax the leg. You should be able to move that foot freely, okay? I should be able to move this foot nice and freely. No bother at all. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be working from just below the kneecap. See if you feel your shin bone. Have a feel for it. You've got one in there. We're going to be sticking this ball right in onto the bone, but just behind the bone. I want you to imagine that you're trying to get in behind the shin. Okay, so we're starting off with the shins. So let me show you. My leg's going to be up, and I'm going to be working from here to just above the ankle. You'll know where to go because as soon as you start hitting proper bone, you've gone far enough. Now I'm going to be talking you through techniques on how to use this thing, okay? But first thing, I want you just to get it in, have a wee play around with it, okay? Get it in there, just below the kneecap, sorry, just behind the shin, okay? And now what I want you to do is twist it so that it pulls up all the skin. Yep, doesn't it sound nice, but it makes sense. I want to just tighten up that skin and tissue, and then I want you to use both hands and really push it, okay? So this is a beginner version. The more advanced version has us on the floor, so obviously we can push a lot harder. Now, the purpose of this is, and where everybody's different, I want you to work from this spot down gradually, down the length of behind your shin bone. Now, you really are, you're pushing it into the back of the shin bone. Yep, if it feels strange, this is going to be new for you, a lot of people. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm pushing down, I'm applying pressure, and I'm really going to be getting stuck in here. Welcome to the new world of mobility, everybody. It's not nice static holds. Now, you can see the ball is here. Yep, I'm going to move it down a wee bit and repeat that process. Okay, you happy with that? People with those tiny screens, get a bigger screen for goodness sake. Okay, look at the size of this. I dare to think how small it looks on your blooming iPhone. Anyway, I want you to work through it. So 2 minutes on each leg. So I want you to take roughly 2 minutes. It's as simple as, okay, you can get your hand underneath it if you like. You're trying to relax. Now, as soon as you find a pressure spot, okay, I'm seeing people on there rocking it back and forward. That's good. Okay, that's good. If you find a pressure spot is in a real bit of pain, you're probably going to find that probably about halfway down your shin bone. You're going to start finding some tender tissue in there. Now, I'll reiterate, it's not the calf muscle we're doing here. It's the shin in behind the shin bone. Okay, and straight away, I'm getting some pain. As soon as you feel, you're looking to try and get that kind of sharp, hot kind of pain sensation. If that's what you're feeling, you're in the right spot here, okay? That's what we're after. Now, again, you're really pushing down on that. And if you do find, you'll start to understand this more, okay? This is all new techniques for a lot of people. If you find that painful spot, yep, I want you to really push that ball in, get the pressure in, take as much pain as you can. I'm sweating already, okay? I'm in a lot of pain here and discomfort, even though the face is straight. I want you to try and do the same. Okay, once you find that horrible little bit, and I mean, you could be feeling this the whole way down your shins, and if you are, like I say, the more discomfort you can inflict upon yourself, the more you're going to get out of this. It sounds sadistic, but it's true. If you find that real horrible spot, I want you to hold it and then see your foot. I want you to start moving your foot around while you're pushing on that hot spot. Yep, and that is, oh, that feels nice, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It feels hellish, but good. Remember, look, the sweat is actually pouring out of me. So this is where some people might find it okay. Now I'm halfway down my shin. I'm going to move down a wee bit more. Now, again, everybody's different. For me now that I'm about halfway, I'm really finding some interesting sensations here. It's horrible. Now, again, I'm pushing this in behind my shin bone. I'm going to reiterate that because a lot of people might be on the actual calf muscle. I'm not. I'm trying to get stuck in there behind it. So remember all those muscles in the front of the shin I was trying to talk you through in previous ones? This is the ones we're trying to get stuck into here. Now, remember everybody, this is not a nice chilled out, you know, rubbing your earlobes type event. I don't want people sitting, this is nice, and giving it a wee rocking forward and it feels good. Get stuck into it, okay? That's what this is about. If it's uncomfortable, if it's pretty hellish, you're on the money, okay? If you're just rolling the ball around in a circle thinking, oh, that's nice and relaxing, that, isn't it? You're definitely not doing it right. So again, look at my foot. I'm lifting my toes up towards my shin. I'm pushing them away. I'm going side to side with my foot while I'm applying as much pressure. Now I'm almost at my ankle and we're almost going to change. So hopefully you're round about there as well. Are you with us here? Are you understanding what we're trying to do on live? You are the feedback tonight. This is all new stuff for us. I'm still seeing people doing this, you know. Yep, I don't know what you think this is, but it's certainly not that, okay? If you want that, I'll even pay for your wee massage. So that's me. I've worked down the length of it. Stand up if you like, shake that leg out. People on live, I need your feedback because again, this is going to be new for most people and the people on the recorded version. You need to understand what we're trying to do here, okay? We're going to do the other side. So what this is responsible for, again, any pain up the front of your shins, shin splints, okay? Even if you don't, remember, prevention's better than cure. That's what we're trying to get at as well. So get something from it. It has to be pretty uncomfortable, and I'm pretty sure most people started to feel quite a high level of discomfort from that. Again, also, when you're doing your squats, and I'm telling you to drive your toes into the ground, this is going to help create stability on the arch of your foot, believe it or not. Okay, so that's important, and it's important that that's nice and supple. There's going to be a lot of things. I'm going to change legs now. There's going to be a lot of things. I'll sit at an angle. Hopefully you can see me a wee bit better. Okay, so I'm getting the ball. Yep. I've got my knee underneath the joint round about here. You're happy where that ball is, just down from the knee. Push it in and you'll feel the shin bone. Yep. You're not pushing it on top of the bone. You're pushing it in behind the shin bone. Yep, we're getting that. Now you put down as much pressure as you can handle. And you can. There's nothing wrong with rocking it around. Imagine it's somebody's elbow and you're getting a massage and you're trying to break that tissue up. There's nothing wrong with that. You can see that mild rocking around that I'm doing. What's not acceptable is this. Happy with that, okay? Yep, hopefully we've ruled that one out. So if I see anybody doing this, just chilling out, that might feel nice. You can do that watching Coronation Street later on, but we're getting, we're getting the most out of this, okay? So again, work down your shin, push it in behind, and you can see I really am. I'm pushing a fair bit of effort on here. Now, again, we're going for the easier options. We could do this on the floor so that we can push real hard and our foot isn't going to go anywhere. Okay, and it's roughly, most people, about halfway down, you start to really get into that muscle and you're probably going to feel it. Now again, runners, I know there's a lot of runners out there now, everybody loves running all of a sudden. What's that all about? This is a very important one for you as well. Okay, so again, even if you're not a runner, squats, stuff like that, if you struggle to create that stability in the arch of your foot, if you struggle to create an arch in your foot, this is when we start to learn about the body a wee bit more, everybody, okay? So what we do up here is going to affect down there, etc. Now again, I'm going for it. Pressure, if you find a spot that feels real sore, there'll be several spots. For a lot of people, there'll be several spots as you go down, you'll be like, oh, well, that's no nice. That's the pressure, that's the spot we're holding. I want you to push as hard as you can. The muscles have to be relaxed, everybody. It doesn't work if you're tensed. Now try and focus on your breathing just like normal mobility, okay? And again, if you find that real sore spot, move the foot around, okay? That's just going to act the same way as somebody's elbow getting stuck in there, shifting it around. So push down as hard as you can, keep going, okay? I'm nearly there, just giving you an idea of timings. Good, and I can see this session taking an hour, because this is only the first one, but it doesn't matter. Again, if it turns out, in my head I thought shins, there's no way we can drag shins out for an hour, but it seems like we might well be able to. So again, we'll see how it is, because I would like to bring these down to 20-30 minute sessions, okay? So it'll take a wee while to get there, so bear with us. Now all the way down to just above your ankle. Again, if you want to go back up, what I would say, you know how, remember I'm always saying in the mobility, especially back at the start, so if you go up and down, you'll feel roughly if there is any areas of knot. For me, it's right about there, okay? Right about kind of mid-shin. I'm getting a lot of horrible tissue, a lot of pain in, well, it is painful, let's be honest. Get rid of the ball. So what was I saying there? I get ahead of myself, I get that excited. So here's a familiar one for you. We're going to get into our ankle dorsiflexion. Okay, so it's as simple as onto the shins. And now I'm simply going to drop back. Okay, so this is a familiar one, okay? Tibialis anterior, that muscle that runs up the front of our shins now, we're going to lengthen that out because again, that's going to start getting shortened out if we don't do this often. And again, for most of you now, we do this regular. This stretch isn't too bad. For those who are new to it, it can be bloody awful, okay? This can be a real tough one. Now, as with any stretch, we have to be relaxed. You're trying to keep the top of the foot, as you can see here, we're trying to keep the top of the foot flush on the floor, okay? I don't know if you can see me through there, actually, that other camera. Better move along a wee bit. I'm a wee bit far ahead of you. Right, okay, so I'm pushing the flat part of the top of, the top of my foot's flat on the ground. Got it out eventually. Good, and then I'm just lowering my weight down. And again, I want you to walk back if you're able to, but you must stay relaxed, okay? Think about the shins. Think about the ankle, is it relaxed? Am I pushing all my weight down on it? If I am, good. I want you to try and get right back down, almost to the point in which your knees are starting to lift off the ground, okay? So really go for it. But again, be sensible and don't be hurting yourself. Now this is a simple hold, taking it as far as you can, staying as relaxed as you can. So yeah, we're going to be doing a bit of both, okay? We're going to be breaking up the tissue, we're going to be stretching it out. I'm going to start teaching you a bit more about what we're trying to do. We'll keep it as simple as I can tonight because you need to learn the techniques we're trying to use with the foam roller and the ball. Because again, a lot of people just jump on a foam roller and roll back and forwards like they're ironing a shirt. Which, you know, is that better than nothing? Yes. Is it, what's the word? Is it the most effective way of doing it? Definitely not, okay? So tonight is really just learning the different techniques and what we're trying to do. Okay, and I'm just holding this, taking it as far as I can. Good, and relax. So just like anything, it might take you a few sessions before you actually start getting the most out of this. Because for a lot of people, it will be completely alien to them. You know, I mean, most people don't want to take something and start prodding it in their body and getting them self-inflicting pain. But again, that does take a bit of lessons, and it does take a wee, there's still technique to it, because again, a lot of people, especially with this, they'll just go like this. You know, that feels nice. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but again, we're trying to do a bit more than that with these sessions. So that's the shins. We could do a bit more, but again, shins running up the front. These muscles get forgotten about because we can't really see them. They're not visible. Again, genetically, some people, you know, this muscle just bulges out. You can see it clear as day. Other people, it's just the shin bone. Okay, I mean, you can feel it if you prod in there, but they get forgotten about because most people just concern themselves with the meatier calf muscle. Okay, so again, runners, anybody with any pain in the shins, prevention's better than cure. So if you do anything like a lot of walking, etc., even if you do a lot of sitting down, we need to get stuck into the front of the shins a lot. So hopefully that's cleared that up a wee bit for you. Now we're going to move on to the calves, okay? But the first one we're going to do for the calves is my favourite, okay? You're going to get your foam roller, everybody, and you're going to start sweating, okay? You're going to start sweating in some pain now. Am I selling it yet? Am I? Right, okay, so calf muscle, okay? Not going to start naming individual muscles. It's the calves. That's all we need to really care about. That's all most people care about. We're going to be working from top of the heel right up to the top of the knee. So obviously we've got the meaty one here and we've got the underlying one there. I want you to extend that leg out and position it just on top of the foam roller, pretty much on your Achilles. Everybody happy with Achilles is the top of the heel. Okay, that meaty bit. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get the other foot and we're going to put it on top. So what that's going to do now is push down, okay? Now what I want you to think about is you can get up onto your arms, so get your bum off the floor, and you're trying to push as much weight down into this foam roller. So you're trying to crush the muscle against the bone, basically, okay? Again, all this stuff sounds nasty and it's because it is, but the more discomfort and pain you can inflict upon yourself, the better. Now everybody's got that foam roller just above the heel. I want you to start rocking left to right. Yep. Feeling anything there? This is where, for me right now, that's pretty horrendous. I won't lie to you right now. That is pretty nasty, and I've not even got much weight on that. Okay, so I want you to go side to side. Some people might be like, you know, what's the big fuss? This feels okay. Now I want you to keep that relaxed. You're trying to push down as hard as you can, going side to side. Okay, yep. Now, see if I go off to the right a wee bit, I'm using myself as an example, I can feel a lot of discomfort, okay? There's this little spot and it's horrible. If you find that spot from any point, I'm just using this as an example. If I go to the right a wee bit, whoa, it's horrible. Now I've found that pressure spot, that spot that's basically needing a bit of work. There shouldn't be pain here, but the fact is we need to get rid of it. That's where you now have to start applying more pressure to that spot that's in pain, that spot of discomfort. Push down on it hard, and you can start moving the foot around, okay, while holding that pressure spot. You with me here? Again, you'll start to learn all this for yourself and do it automatically, okay? But now I've found that horrible spot. You might not have found one yet. If you haven't, keep going left to right and slowly start working your way up the leg, okay? Whoa. So if you're with me here, if you look at me now, I'll go very quick. I'm basically trying to go all the way up until I get to just behind the kneecap, okay? Using the process that I'm explaining to you now. Don't take all day, okay? If you've never done foam rolling before or you don't do a lot of it, you're probably going to find a hell of a lot of pain, okay? You're going to find a lot of knots working up there. So we've got 2 minutes roughly per side. So we've not really got enough time to do it all, unless of course you're pretty supple. Now those little horrible spots of pain, mine is it's semi off the ground. I've got a lot of weight in my arms. It's hovering. I would say it's 90% off the ground. But again, it doesn't have to be, okay? So if I go back down to that horrible spot, I don't even need to be. I can just push enough. That's horrendous. It makes you feel almost sick, okay? But again, I want you to understand that that's okay, okay? That is okay, and that's what we're looking for. If you don't find any pressure spots, any sore areas, then good for you, okay? That's not a bad thing. That's what the rest of us are trying to achieve. Now, you're not going to cure it, but well, you are, but you're not probably going to cure it in 2 minutes. So just take note, okay? Now, hopefully you're working through it. Work up the calf muscle. Again, you find that horrible knotted up area, push down on it, apply as much pressure as you can, move the foot around. Yep, oh, yep, it doesn't feel nice, does it? Doesn't feel nice? Suddenly mobility and flexibility numbers just dropped. Okay, so this is where you really are going to learn your body, everybody. This is where you're going to find your little problem areas, and this is where you're probably going to find that even though you can hold some good stretches, etc., those muscles are being used and abused for too long, and now's the time to take action, and now we are, okay? And I'm the same, okay? I'm with you. This is awful. So pretty much for me, the whole way up is awful, okay? Now, most people are going to be the same. So just like anything, remember back in the early days of the mobility and the flexibility stuff we were doing, I would tell you, take note of anything that's horrendous or needing a bit of work. This is probably one of them, okay? Again, what we're doing here, we're breaking up all that tissue, okay? All those horrible pressure areas, we need to get rid of them. So you are going to feel pain. Now, if you can't even apply any pressure with that top leg, move it out the way. So beginners, I would definitely class myself as a beginner tonight. You're going to find a lot of pain. You're going to find that you can't put a lot of weight on this leg because the pain's just unbearable. The more pain you put on, the more pain you can bear on this one, the quicker you're going to find yourself getting better. Now, there's a classic pressure spot here, just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm holding a spot, and just the weight on that alone is awful. I mean, it is awful. I'm pushing down as hard as I can while trying to keep the muscle relaxed. I'm rotating the foot around, I'm lifting it up, I'm pushing it away, side to side, and what's that doing, okay? Again, that's basically replicating somebody's elbow in there jamming around. Fantastic, everybody. So I want you to ease out of that one. Horrible, eh? You'll be surprised. You'll honestly be surprised what difference that we've just done makes, okay? Now, I remember the first few mobility classes we've done, a lot of people couldn't hold certain movements, it was all tight. Remember this moment, okay? Because if you start doing this sort of stuff regular, the pain that you're feeling now is not the pain that you're going to be feeling further down the line, okay? And again, some of you might be doing this and it's all right, okay? I'm not saying it's going to be awful for everybody. Some people are more supple than others. Some people keep on top of this stuff more than others. Some people don't abuse their body quite as much as others. So many factors here. So I've changed legs, okay? I'm starting on that Achilles area, side to side. And again, beginners, me included, don't need to apply that much pressure, okay, to feel some horrible areas. As soon as I find one that's pretty nasty, I'm holding it. Yep. I'm going to try my best to relax as best I can. I'm going to push down. I'm going to suck it up. Okay, yep, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's making me sweat and I'm not even doing anything. Okay, and then once I've held it a wee bit, start moving the foot around. So these are techniques I want you to start learning, okay? You explore with the foam roller. You think this is bad? Wait until further down the line when we've got that wee ball in there instead. You'll be seeing people vomiting. Okay, so like I say, the process is simple. We're using the foam roller, side to side, side to side. Find a tight area, find a knot, find a pressure, I call it a pressure point. Somewhere that you just push on and it's sore. Once you find that, you apply as much pressure as you can, increasing it. And then you think about trying to break it up. So that's me, I'm moving the foot around. Yep, nasty, nasty, nasty. And again, for a lot of people, you don't even need that leg on top because you can get enough weight down to make it awful. Side to side, again, I'm pretty much slowly just working my way up. Once I move away from that heel, for me, don't quite feel it as much. Once I start to hit the bigger calf muscle, yeah, I can feel it's pretty nasty. But for me personally, most of that pain and discomfort is down towards the heel, down towards the ankle. And again, a lot of people will be the same. So in an ideal world, there should be zero pain. You should be able to put all your weight down on this thing, roll side to side, back to forth, and there should be no pain or discomfort. So if you're like me right now and everything is awful, you've got your work cut out for you. So the point here is that for a lot of people was probably pretty damn painful. Yep, pretty uncomfortable. You didn't even have to apply a lot of pressure. You might already be thinking twice about these new mobility classes. But like I say, like anything, the more you do it, trust me, the better you'll get and the less pain you'll be inflicting upon yourself because there'll be nothing there to be had. So that leads us on nicely. What we've done there, we've broken up all that tissue, tried to release some of the knots. Again, there's only so much we can achieve in one session. We've done a lot of work there, probably more than you realise. We come back to it further down the line, we do a bit more. Now we're going to get into the ankle stretch, okay? So this is where trainers on, trainers off, whatever works for you. So there's a combination of foam rolling, combination of the massage work, breaking up the knots, and then we're stretching, okay? So by breaking up all that knotted up area, it should help your stretches get a bit better, okay? So see, just this time alone that we've spent on your shins and your calves, that will have made a big difference that you probably won't realise, okay, until you start using them. So what have I done here? I'm standing up nice and tall. I've wedged my foot, so my toes are nice and high up, whatever I'm using. It can be a wall, it could be a bench. You want to feel like I can push all my weight down into this thing and it's not going to slide. My foot is anchored, it's wedged, it ain't going anywhere no matter how hard I push it in. I'm keeping a slight bend in my knee. That's going to keep the emphasis down towards my ankle joint, okay? I'm going to try to get as much of my body weight up on top of this foot, and then I'm going to start pushing that foot forwards, everybody. Good. Good work. So good news, the next one we do isn't too bad. It'll be weird. The next one we do will be weird, okay? You're going to be questioning it, definitely. But again, I want you to start to learn to understand these techniques, understand why we're doing them. I'm not so much getting into the why, okay? I'm not getting into the science, the anatomy behind what we're doing tonight, because I think I've got enough to talk about in terms of talking you through technique. But I'll go into that a bit more as we get into it, as to what exactly we're doing. So again, this stretch, I'm not just holding it, I'm trying to take it further and further and further, which I'm sure you're doing now anyway. You know, mobility number 32. Hopefully, if you've been with us for a while, you know exactly what you're trying to get out of these. Okay, so release that. You can walk around, you can shake the foot out, let it all regulate, okay? We've going to feel a wee bit of discomfort coming out of that one, and then I'm going to change feet. Okay, so again, I'm trying to get that foot nice and high up, the toes nice and high up the wall. I'm trying to keep a slight bend in the knee. If you're feeling it real tight, as in you're struggling to get any sort of stretch sensation, wobble the knee a wee bit, okay? It's going to help just loosen everything off a wee bit more. And again, really go for this. You can really get your body weight into it. You can really push that foot down into the wall, into the bench, whatever it's wedged into, and that's why it's important that you've got a good solid base with this foot. It's not going to start sliding down the wall, everyone, okay? So far, I've spent a bit of time on the shins. Again, there's always more we can do. We could just spend the whole time on the shins, but I'm picking the key areas. And we're basically just going for everything below the knee overhaul tonight. And again, it's going to start giving people an idea of what needs work. It's going to start making you realise there's things in there you maybe never knew you had. And you're going to start understanding how your body works a bit more as well. So again, really go for this stretch, really focus on getting the most out of it. It's a damn good stretch, this one. And again, for those of you who struggle to squat, your ankles are knocked up tight. So far, everything we've done is going to help that big time, okay? So relax out of that. I want you to walk around, shake it out. Good. Fantastic. Right, where are we at? Now we're moving right down onto the ankles. We're going to be getting down onto the floor. This one's going to be weird for a lot of people. And I want you to grab your ball. If you've got trainers on, take them off. Doesn't matter if your feet are honking. As long as I don't see them, that's fine by me. Right, okay, I hate feet. Just throwing that one out there. If you've got big scabby black toes, keep them off my screen, please. I'm only joking, I'll try not to look. Right, okay. So I want you to get your foot onto a mat, okay? That's important because I'm going to be pushing this ankle down, okay? And I don't want you to be wincing because it's on a hard floor. So even if you're... Lost the recording, everybody, calm down, all good. Right, okay, I'm going to take the ball. I'm going to stick it. Where am I going to stick it? I'm going to stick it in here, okay? And I want you to push it in. I want you to twist it again. So we're trying to take up the slack in the skin, yep. Because we're trying to separate skin from muscle, okay? So I've twisted it up. I'm holding the ball, and now this is where you're going to question me. I know you are. I want you to start whacking it, okay? I want you to start whacking it. There shouldn't be pain, okay? We're not on the bone. move around and start hitting it from different angles, okay? So you can see what I'm doing there. I'm moving it around, you can find the areas, and again, you're trying to give it, this is where it's quite hard. You're going to have to learn a bit of discipline, but you're trying to hit it from different angles, because what am I doing? I'm not just hitting it down. Yep, I'm trying to break up all that tied up tissue. Stop laughing at me, okay? People are thinking I'm having you on here, aren't you? You think I'm having you on. You'll be surprised what this is doing, okay? So I'm working on the inside of the ankle. Again, there shouldn't be pain. And when you hit this thing, you should be able to hit it pretty hard without hurting yourself, okay? Now, there will be a level of discomfort. Of course, there will. Stop laughing at me. I'm going to have to stop looking at the screen. Can't take you serious. Okay, and while we're in here, I want you to push the ball in and see if you can find any. See if you just go to the side of the heel. Anybody getting some discomfort in there? Anyone? Someone? Anyone? Yeah, good. Right, got some feedback at least, instead of just faces that are looking at me confused. Twist that ball, take this tension out the skin, okay? Take the slack out of it, push down hard on it. I want you to push down on any knotted areas. I want you to hold it. You're trying to push down as much weight as you can, find any pressure points. And then I want you, again, once you've got that pressure point, if, you know, some people might not have any, it might be all right, it might be flowing freely. Move the foot around, side to side, keep that pressure on, move the foot around, yep, we get, yes, good. For the faces, that tells me somebody's in discomfort at least. So again, move it around. Push down as hard as you can. It's not the most pleasant of things, like I say. So anybody with any sort of pain in the Achilles, any pain around the heel, any pain on the ankles, sore feet, etc., this is what we're trying to combat now. Again, it's not all painful. I want you to relax out of that. The whack we were just doing, I want you to put it round onto your heel. This is where you just have to play around with it. Put it round onto your actual heel, onto the Achilles, same kind of thing, okay? I want you to whack from different angles. You have to stay relaxed. You're going to find maybe some discomfort in there. Don't hurt yourself, okay? Remember what I'm trying to do. Twist it up. This is where it might not help with a sock on, but I don't have scabby feet, but that's my opinion, okay? This is where it might not help with a sock on. The ball, if you've got a proper lacrosse one, should grip the skin. Yep, it should grip the skin, unless you're one of those folk that like to use all that body butter nonsense. Twist it, okay, what does it do? What does that do? The skin comes with it, doesn't it? Tightens it up. That's what I want you to do before you start hitting the thing, because... Just stop it. Stop it, Kylie. Stop it, because you're making me laugh. I'm trying not to look at you. This is serious, okay? Okay, so I'm rotating it round, taking that tension out the skin, not taking the tension out, taking the slack out. And now I'm going round the other way. So I'm now on the outer part of the heel, and this is where it's going to be a bit weird, because it's quite a hard angle to get at. So you're going to have to play around with it. Try to stay relaxed, okay? Same in here, okay? So I'm twisting it. Why am I twisting it? Just shut up. How professional. Okay, so again, all we're trying to do is break that tissue up, and you'll be surprised. It doesn't take much. Again, even if you're not feeling this, as in you don't feel you need it, you'll be surprised the difference it can make. Now, I want you, once we've done that, so we've done one side, look, move your fingers around the joint, okay? How's it feeling? Does it feel like the tissue's broken up a wee bit more? Does it feel like it's moving a wee bit more? Does it? I'm going to turn that recording button off in a minute, any more of this. Are you with us there? Okay. So again, not all the mobility stuff. I feel I have to keep repeating myself, just based on some of the reactions I'm getting on the blooming live screen. It's not all going to be torturous. It's not all going to be, you know, just holding something and pushing down. There's going to be stuff that you feel like you're, what the hell am I doing here? Okay? And trust me, it's worth it. So again, get it in. We're on the inside of the heel now, inside of the ankle, sorry. Find any knotted areas. I'm going to push it, I'm going to twist it, which is going to tighten that skin up. And then all I want you to do is just try, again, the purpose of us hitting this thing is just to try and break it up a wee bit, okay? don't think we'll be doing this one again. You've ruined this, you know. I hope you're happy with yourself. Just get it done and shut your faces. Right, okay, good work. So again, move it around. Different angles. And if you do find any pressure spots, as in anything that feels pretty sore, get stuck into it, okay? Push down hard. Try and keep everything relaxed. I'm pretty sure if you're moving around the heel Achilles area, you're probably going to find, are we getting anything for this? Are we? Aye? Apart from stupid faces, yep. Good, right? Well, that's better. Makes me feel less self-conscious. So again, if you do feel any pressure spots while you're pushing down, move the foot around while holding it, while pushing it down. Good. And again, I'm going to come round. I'm going to bring it onto the actual heel. How's that feeling? Okay. So again, this is how we test it. Bring your toes up towards your shin. So lift your toes up towards your shin. Put your finger on your Achilles, on your heel. Move it around. Does the skin move freely, or does it feel like it's pretty jammed? Okay. And this is, again, this is new for people, and I know it's new because I can see people looking real confused and thinking I'm having them on a laugh here. If your skin feels pretty tight, as in it's not moving freely, it's not gliding freely across the tissue, are we with us? Are you with us now? Because this is what I'm trying to get at. Then that's where this is important, okay? Get it in, twist it, take up the slack in the skin, and that's what we'll try to do from different angles, okay? Is just trying, while it's twisted up and we've got that skin, is just try to break it up. And it doesn't take much to break it up. Again, these feet of ours get absolutely abused. So I'm on the Achilles area, you have to play around with it. Twist it. Okay, it might not be the nicest feeling, it might feel like your skin's getting stretched, but that is what I'm after. And then you can come round onto the outermost of the heel. Again, you're going to have to play around with the position because it's a bit of the awkward one. Get it in there, twist it, hit it, wallop. Just stop. I know exactly what you are thinking, and I'm not rising to it, okay? I'm just not rising to it. I'm not. So as always, I want feedback. I want to know what works for you and what doesn't work. That's important. Again, with these, so have a feel. Have a feel around your heels. Does everything feel like it's moving freely? Okay, this is a test. This is where one person might be thinking, oh, you know what? Forget it. Forget it. Next time we do this, I'm turning that screen off and I'm not looking at anybody. Apologies to those. There are people on there taking it serious and they keep looking, wondering what's going on. But all these weird laughing faces every time I talk about things. Right, anyway, we're done. Get yourself stood up. So that's that done. We're not finished the session yet. We need to get on to the actual feet themselves. Okay, so what have we done? I like to keep summarising as we go. We've done the front of the shins, okay? Like I say, the purpose is, there's multiple purposes, there's multiple things that we're trying to do here. It's not just stretching. Yes, there is stretching. Yes, there is a lot of foam rolling. There's a lot of manipulation work. We're trying to break up a lot of tissue. And again, that doesn't always mean to say, for example, with that one, you probably weren't getting any kind of discomfort, you weren't getting any real pain, maybe certain areas you were. It's the actual technique involved in what we're trying to do, okay? We're trying to break up any tightness in that tissue. And that's important as well because everybody just focuses on the muscle. If the skin, etc., isn't gliding across easily, then that's still going to jam everything up, no matter how pliable, no matter how flexible your muscles are. So again, we need to start understanding more. And I'm kind of not getting into that in too much detail. I'm just doing it and people are wondering, what the hell is this he's got us doing? Whacking a ball off my shin. But again, hopefully I'll start to explain a bit more as to what the hell we're trying to do. Because I want you to understand that it might not feel like it's doing much, but in actual fact, it's doing a hell of a lot. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to do the undersides of the feet. This is one that I cannot recommend enough to anybody, okay? I do it pretty much every morning. Before I run, especially after running, especially if I've spent a lot of time walking, if I'm out walking all day. This is really important, okay, for everybody. So again, going on to plantar fasciitis, it's pretty much a loose term for any kind of pain that you're getting on the underside of the foot. So this is easy. All I want you to do is just stand on the ball. I'm going to talk you through it. So we've got that big bit of connective tissue running from your heel basically to the front, the ball of the foot. Okay, that's the fascia, that's the area that I'm trying to break up here. So I'm not actually on the bone, I'm just in front of the heel. You'll feel it, you'll feel it. Now what I want you to do, because a lot of people just do this. Okay, they just roll it across. Do it now, have a go of it. Roll it across. Now how does that feel? It feels all right, it can be pretty unpleasant, but more than anything it's quite nice. Okay, it feels quite nice, like it's doing something. That's again a common problem. Better than nothing, but we really need to be getting stuck into it, so I'm going to talk you through it. All I want you to do, starting from the back of the foot, working your way forward, and all we're doing here, get my big giant feet, basically working anywhere around here. Okay, you happy with that? Right up to here. And all you're doing, just like anything, is looking for any sort of pressure spots, any horrible little, basically knots. Okay, so all I do, I push down as much weight. You can do this one sat down as a beginner, but we're not doing it sat down because to really get the most of it. Now, all I'm doing is I'm going side to side. So think back to that calf one we were doing with a foam roller. I was going side to side. As soon as you find a spot that you think, oh, and that could be pretty much the whole underside of your foot, okay? If you find a spot that you go, oh, what do I do? I hold it on that spot and I start to load it up, okay? I really start to push down hard onto it, get all my weight on it, and that is pretty awful. I'm on one right now. Then once you've been holding it a wee while, you can start contracting and relaxing the muscle. Start moving the toes around. Yep. How are we feeling on live? Are we getting something from that? Yep, good, good. Now this is very important. So again, you might find areas that are just awful. You might be one of the few that nice and supple down there. You keep on top of this sort of thing. Good for you if you are. But I'm pretty sure 99% of you right now are finding this uncomfortable. So again, I'm trying to stay relaxed, even though I'm very uncomfortable. Side to side. And again, all I'm trying to do here is break up that tissue, break up any of that knotted, horrible area. And as soon as you find a spot that just feels real, not nice, hold it. And then just apply more and more pressure onto it. And we're going for roughly 2 minutes. On each foot, that is. Okay, not 2 minutes on that pressure spot. So work the whole foot. Take note of any areas that need a bit of work. So again, the feet get forgotten about. Biggest tip I'll give you, have a few of these balls lying around. Okay, I'm quite well tuned with mine now. I just always have mine in the top flap of my bag. So when I'm going from here to home, I always know where it is. And if you are quite keen on running or walking or spend a lot of time on your feet or you're on your feet all day at work, have one of these, put it in your freezer. Keep it in your freezer. I'm trying to talk through this, but it's no nice. Take it out the freezer, chuck it on the floor and do this. It's nice, especially see after you've been out running and your feet are gowping, walking, etc., or even before it. Relax, change legs, change feet. Okay, so start it again, just in front of the heel. See for the first part, see before you start working, do exactly what I said not to do. Do that rolling about thing. Roll the whole foot because it's going to get you to learn your foot. It's going to let you feel straight away any wee areas that are not right. So I can go, oh, that's a wee bit horrible over that area. I can feel a wee bit horribleness over that area. So you can build up a picture of where you're going to be going with this. So once you've done that a few times, again, side to side, working from the heel towards the toes basically. And if you find a wee horrible spot, what do? You hold it. You push as much weight down on it as you can. You keep the foot as relaxed as you can. You keep the muscles as relaxed as you can. Once you've been holding it a wee bit, try wriggling the toes. Try contracting the muscles on the underside of the foot for 5 seconds, then relaxing them. Okay, but ultimately, all we're trying to do is break all that up. So again, for a lot of people that have never done this before, this can be pretty uncomfortable. Okay, now this is the one that I will recommend you do a lot of. Because again, prevention's better than cure, and if you start getting bothered with your feet, needless to say, if you start having bother with your feet, the fun just gets taken out of everything. Okay? Unless you learn to walk in your hands. So again, I'm just working my way side to side. And there's some right horrors in there. Good. So I recommend keep one of these in your freezer, top drawer if you like, so you don't have to bend down as far. Chuck it out, use it and chuck it back in. Might not be the most hygienic thing if your feet are honking, but it's your freezer, maybe. So yeah, I'll recommend this. I always do this. Again, it's more of a preventative thing for me, but I know a lot of people get a lot of bother with the underside of the foot. So please, if you're finding a lot of pain, a lot of problem areas in there, get stuck into it. Now walk around, okay, and how does that feel as a whole? Okay, we've not worked miracles tonight. It's very much been an introduction. You've probably found that you've maybe not applied as much pressure, etc., as you can. Try moving around. How's the ankles feeling? Do they feel different? Okay, does it feel like things are moving a wee bit better? It definitely should. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to feel like we've done something crazy and all of a sudden we've unlocked all this new mobility. You should definitely feel like things have had a bit of work done to them. You know, any sort of pains, niggles, it might have eased that out. That's where this stuff is quite powerful. And again, you do need to keep on top of it. It's something you can do on a rest day. You never really take a break from this stuff. Otherwise, you start to go backwards. That is us done. Yep, it took a wee bit longer than anticipated. But again, it is very much learning for me as well, what we can actually fit in. So ideally, we could probably just have done shins and calves tonight and saved the feet for another one. I've actually got more in this, but you know what, let's do it, because we might as well finish. It's the last one, and then that's the feet done. Right, okay, for you lunge biffs who struggle with range in your feet, as in your toes, some people have got zero flexibility in their toes, so when they lunge, if you look at my back foot, it's my toes, okay? My toes need to be able to move to provide that stability in the back foot. That's what some people struggle with. So that's what we're going to get stuck into now. You may need a mat. This is the last stretch we're going to do, and then we're done for the night, okay? All I want you to do is imagine you're just about to do a single leg squat, okay? So you're about to squat down. So get yourself into that position, and then all I want you to do is ride up onto the toes. See what I'm doing? Happy with that? Get right up there, and then start getting your body down. Okay, so now, all I'm doing is basically I'm on the extremes of my tiptoes. Are you with me here? Can you see exactly what I've done there? And now, good. Okay, now I have got, I have no bother doing a lunge, but this feels pretty uncomfortable. I want you to make sure your toes are facing forwards. Yep, don't have your feet pointing out anywhere. And really just try and push down on them. And again, depending on your own ability and mobility, it depends how bad you find this. But I know a lot of people really lack that flexibility in the toes. And again, the feet, I mean, who stretches their feet out? Who spends any time doing mobility work, like we've just done with the ball on their feet? But forget about the feet. Yeah, they're the things that carry us all day long, every day. And again, we do a lot of damage to our feet. Injuries and stuff, we roll our ankles and we just forget about it. So again, just try and load it up, try and stay relaxed. Where are you feeling this? You should definitely be feeling it round about the ball of the foot, underside of the foot. And you can really kind of push down. Try maybe going side to side. How does that feel? Does that do anything? Again, move around within the stretch. Don't lose the stretch, but see if there's any way you can enhance it or explore it a wee bit and find if there's anything that needs a wee bit more work. And I'm going to ease out. Yep, again, just like anything, that's going to feel a wee bit uncomfortable. Wriggle the toes, let that blood flow back into them. And then I'm just simply going to change legs. So again, to get the perfect setup, imagine you're about to squat down with one leg. Okay, squat down with one leg. And then all I'm going to do is just simply make sure you go gradually, because if they are tight, you're going to find that you're just going to fight it and it's not going to be relaxed, okay? So we want to be nice and relaxed. The position you're in, it doesn't matter in the sense that this is what I want you to achieve, okay? You can feel the stretch we're trying to achieve. It's pretty obvious. What am I doing? I'm trying to pull my toes back in themselves. So you're trying to get as much weight down there as you can. So whatever you do with the rest of your body to enhance that, that's down to you. Play around with it, see if you're better on the leg, up the leg. But just make sure that your toes are pretty much pointing forward so we'll get that nice even spread. And I'll summarise while we're holding this one. So that was shins, calves, ankles and feet. Again, we can delve into each area even more than that. But I don't want to do that because I don't think we need that level. That's more as if you're having specific problems within something, then you could look at doing everything with the shins. But again, it's more to start giving you an idea. I will cut these sessions down to 20, 30 minutes, don't worry. I know some people don't mind it. But again, it very much is me just learning what we can do in that space of time. But we'll speed up as well, because of course all this stuff's new to everybody, right? I want you to relax there. All I wanted to get in your head tonight was the kind of techniques we're after, okay? So when you are foam rolling, this basically everything that we've done tonight for the shins, calves, whatever, you can do to any area of your body. So please get exploring with it. We are going to be doing it as the program goes, but same principles, okay? All you're trying to do is don't just roll back and forward on it, okay? That'll feel maybe nice, feels nice, but you're not getting that much from it. The purpose of this is we're trying to break all that tissue up. So you're doing it the same process. You get on it, you apply the weight down onto it, get yourself set up, move side to side on the muscle, trying to break it up. Yat! That's a horrible spot. What the hell is that? Okay, that's a knot. I'm going to push, I'm going to hold on that area. I'm going to push as much weight down as I can, hold it for a bit, and then I'm going to start trying to move. If it's my leg, move my foot around because that's going to start activating the muscle. If it's up here, start moving my knee around, etc. You get the picture while holding that. And all I'm trying to do is just break up that tissue, break up that knot. It might not work the first time, but the more you do it, the less pain you'll get from it, okay? So it does take time. For me right now, the ankles were awful. I didn't have to put much weight on them, and that's with the foam roller. Wait until you're using that ball on them. That is just awful. But again, we break you in gently with that, and hopefully by the time we come round to using the ball, it's because this thing doesn't really work for us anymore, okay? So hopefully you understand those techniques, the fact of what you're trying to do with this, and you can explore a bit more. You know, another good area, try the quads. Try the quads, okay? That's pretty damn awful. Do the same technique as we've done with the calves on the quads. And again, just think of it as this ball is basically for getting right in the nooks and crannies where that thing can't, okay? And it's the same principle. It's good to have one of these. I just get used to having mine about, okay? If I'm sat at my desk, I have it sitting there, okay? I can just jam it in somewhere because there's always somewhere that we're sore, some area needing a bit of work. I mean, I'm always saying it, there's always something wrong. And that's kind of true, so it's always handy having something around. Hopefully that makes sense. And again, the last point I'll reiterate, especially with that one where we were whacking into our ankles, it doesn't feel like you're doing anything when in actual fact you're doing a lot, okay? And I'll start to explain a bit more of that as we get into these sessions. But it's more just, I want you to understand what we're trying to do. Not everything has to be painful. Not everything is a stretch. Some things just feel like you're doing something. But once you start to understand the reasoning behind it all, hopefully that helps. Thank you very much. Something new. And again, now I know we only really need to get into one specific area if we're going to keep it to 20, 30 minutes. But thank you. Hopefully you learned something. Okay, and feedback is always welcome. Even if you're watching this on recorded, feedback, let me know. That was a great one. That worked well. I don't really understand this. Am I supposed to be doing that? It's important that that's why I talk so much, okay? Because I look at the reactions and the expressions on live and I get a lot of kind of... which makes me feel that I'm not explaining it well enough so that I keep going at it. So please, it's important. And like I say, you should, just from doing that, feel like you've done something, okay? You might feel a little bit of discomfort. I mean, I don't know about anybody's been maybe for a proper physio appointment, and they've done a lot of different techniques on you, and you come out feeling pretty battered, okay? You don't necessarily feel good the next day. That's very much the case with this. You might feel it's a little bit uncomfortable. Like, I don't know, like you've been doing a workout on them. So again, quite a lot to teach you and not a lot of time. So hopefully you're starting to understand it. Ultimately, hopefully you got something from it and you start to understand how to use these things. Right, thank you. We're done. Mobility 32 in the bag.